You ever wonder how you stack up? You're about to find out how you can find out more about how you stack up. We have Sean Loony in the house. He's president of Loony Advertising, founder of StackMeUp.com. How you doing, Sean?
I'm doing great.
What is StackMeUp.com, and why do we want and need to know how we stack up?
StackMeUp.com is a website that allows you to privately compare personal information. So it's every taboo question that you're afraid to ask or really shouldn't ask when you first meet somebody, or even if you know them for years.
Such as, it's the obvious question, such as?
How much money do you make in your profession, or, for your gender, or how much sex do you and your wife have every month?
I'm sorry, could you go back to the second question?
I'm sorry, the second question.
How much sex do you have with you? Now, my wife, as we do this program, my wife happens to be 7 months pregnant. If I wanted to know
Congratulations.
how I stack, thank you, for the baby, not for the sex, because Steve Barcy, should I get out of this right now, our cameraman? I will. Here's the issue.
Okay.
My wife and I were just talking about this, and I want to know how I stack up, how we stack up as a couple.
Right.
In terms of how often we have sex, given that she's 7 months pregnant.
Right.
Is that something I could find out?
It is. Married couples, non-married couples, single people, you can find out on a monthly basis how often, how often, and an annual basis as well.
Okay, so sex,
income, net wealth, real estate, athletic performance, body part size, education.
Back up.
Yeah.
Body part size. Okay, if I say, someone wants to know how 6 feet tall.
Right.
Height,
weight.
I say this much weight, and where do I stack up?
Right. Height-wise, how do I stack up? And the cool thing about it is you can start stacking yourself on a micro-detailed level, so it's not just about you as a person. It's by gender, by ethnicity, by region, even to a certain extent in some of the categories.
Why do people want to know this stuff, Sean?
Everybody wants to know. I mean, we all want to know how we're doing. This whole site started 3 years ago when my wife and I had a conversation, and
about how much sex you were having?
No, actually, we weren't talking about that, unfortunately. We were talking about just how we're doing in life, net wealth. We live in the same leafy suburb, and we're surrounded by nice homes and people putting in dishes.
You mean the over property tax?
Taxes are
high.
Town
that we live in. Go ahead.
Taxes are on the side as well, and you can look around, and it's that keeping up with the Joneses mentality of are we doing okay? And the site is actually designed to make people feel better about how they're doing in life.
Better or worse?
Better, because even if you're not stacking up that well, I think what people will find from the media is that they think everybody has so much more than they actually do. The reality is that we're all kind of in a similar boat, and the thinnest margins are at this upper echelon, and I found it comforting to know that as an individual, but it took me months to find the answer. So when we had that conversation about net wealth, it took me about 2 months to actually specifically find the answer for our region and for us personally. And after that, I said, well, I think a lot of people would probably want to know this. And it became this mild obsession, to say the least. So 100 million bits of data later, we have a couple hundred subcategories, and the site's growing every month. And things just organically started to add on to it based on what people kind of talked about and what people were interested in.
So how can you make money doing this? I mean, you're in advertising. You guys are currently the folks driving it, the ad agency, right?
This is a separate new media division within our ad agency, and the reason we started this is because I believe that the hybrid model of the future in marketing is owning new media properties to learn from the psychographic information, not about you individually, let's say, but about aggregates in terms of what people are interested in.
You're getting a little jargony here.
Sorry.
So I want to break it down in English.
Right. Basically, it helps us learn about people's behavior and their interests and what they like to do. And
you think this is a hot thing?
I think connecting people over shared interests is a hot thing, conceptually. The site fulfills that need, and right now it just launched, so we only have about 40,000 page views, but as time goes on and as we add things to the site, we just linked up to Facebook and Twitter and different things that we're going to do. I think that potentially it's a great resource for people as their lives change and evolve.
Anonymous?
Totally anonymous.
Totally?
Has to be
Look
private.
At some of the problems. Are the folks at Facebook having the problem right now?
Sure.
Hey, people's like, hey, what'd you do with my information? I don't know what happened or didn't happen, but all I know is this. Some people are suspect of who gets access to it. You say?
I say...
Well, your stuff.
in order for us to have an open relationship with people and for people to feel good about going to the site, it has to be completely private, and it always will be. We'll never sell information, and we're never going to give away information that's going to be used for spam-type messages. We hate spam, and obviously that's not a way to build a relationship.
But also, StackMeUp.com can be helpful to people. One of the folks who actually has cancer right now looked on the site for what, and how were they helped?
Yeah, I guess you saw that on one of the walls, the conversation walls. In our health section, there's statistics on cancer in terms of what's the likelihood of you getting a specific cancer and what's the cure stat. And this person had pancreatic cancer, and this is kind of when I got a sense that this site is really doing what it's supposed to be doing, where they posted just a little question online saying, does anybody know a good pancreatic cancer doctor? And within the day, we had 3 or 4 responses with people just giving great recommendations who had, a relative that had been through it, or they knew a good doctor in this field, and really helpful. And that's when I said, okay, the last, 3.5 years haven't been completely a waste of time.
Is it part of the plan to be helpful, or is it just for people to get information and see how they, quote, stack up?
No, I think that the juice of the site is that it's going to be a resource and a tool for people. Rather than just connecting with people you already know, the world doesn't need another Facebook. I think that the site has to help people learn from each other. There's a person on the site called Trainer Sam right now that just started posting this week, and he's giving like a tip of the week, a health tip of the week, workout tip of the week. So for guys like me that have bad hamstrings, maybe he'll give me some information, but he'll develop a following in his zip code, hopefully, and then from there, like, he can build himself up. And I think that is an important part of the site.
A few seconds left. You love this stuff.
Love it.
Why?
I hate the statistical part. I'm right brain.
What part do you love?
I love the fact that I had this idea lingering in my head, and we acted upon it. And so much in advertising is about crystallizing a thought. And this is the first idea that I'm not doing for somebody else. I'm doing it for our team and our company, and I'm super proud of it.
Interesting. On the surface, the name StackMeUp, or someone might say, where am I? And it could feel bad, but that's not it. People largely see that they're doing all right. Go onto the site right now, see how you stack up. I happen to know that I stack up as one of the top, other than Oprah, talk show hosts in the country. I just wanted to clarify.